before you understand the Irish, before the stories, the music, the humor, the warmth. You need to understand one thing. Ireland isn't a country. It's a climate plot twist. Every hour is a new episode. There are places in the world where you can plan your outfit, where the sky respects your goals, where the weather picks one personality and sticks to it. Ireland is not that place. Here, you might leave the house in sunshine, walk into a drizzle, get slapped by wind, and return home in a fog so thick it feels like the world forgot to finish loading. Not over a week, not over a day, but in the time it takes to drink a cup of tea. That's why the Irish dress like meteorologists at war. Prepared, layered, ready for anything. Chapter 1. The weather has more mood swings than a poetic artist. Ireland's weather doesn't change. It feels. It wakes up happy, soft, and quiet, like it's humming a tune only the morning mist understands. Then suddenly, without warning, it gets emotional. The kind of emotional where the clouds thicken, the breeze sighs, and you start wondering if the sky is about to write a tragic poem about unrequited love. 5 minutes later, it needs space. It pulls back, lets a sliver of sunlight slip through, as if trying to convince you it's fine. It's not fine, but it tries. Then comes the apology. A delicate, unexpected ray of sunshine landing on your face like a warm hand. It lasts just long enough for you to lower your guard. And that is when the sky storms off again, dramatic as ever, right when you've forgiven it. A blue sky isn't a promise here. It's the polite suggestion. A small, hopeful whisper that says, maybe I'll behave today. But deep down, everyone knows better. Clouds gather like they've overheard gossip. And the darker the clouds, the juicier the secrets. They roll across the horizon with that, you won't believe what just happened energy. Rain doesn't simply fall. It appears like it remembered something urgent. An appointment, a deadline, a grudge. Sometimes it drifts in softly, like a shy guest at a party. Other times it arrives loud and unapologetic, slapping windows and soaking socks as if settling an old score. And the wind? The wind shows up like it's late for an argument. Huffing, puffing, yanking at jackets, testing umbrellas like it's trying to expose their deepest insecurities. 1 minute it's a playful nudge. The next, it's trying to take your hood, your hat, and probably your dignity too. And the Irish? They've seen this entire performance 1,000 times. They don't flinch. They don't complain. They don't even pause. Because the Irish have mastered a kind of quiet weather wisdom. Never, ever trust the sky, not fully. So they dress like people who know the weather could betray them at any moment. Layers on layers. A jacket for hope. A hood for caution. A waterproof promise, just in case the clouds decide to get dramatic. Clothes ready for sun, rain, wind, confusion, and the emotional subplot in between. Because the weather will switch. It will surprise, tease, sulk, brighten, rage, soften, and spiral all before lunchtime. And that's exactly why the Irish dress the way they do. They're not preparing for one season. They're preparing for every mood the sky might have. Because it will. Chapter 2. 4 seasons, 10 minutes. In Ireland, time doesn't work on clocks. It works on feelings. You don't live through seasons here. You experience rotations. Like the island is spinning through emotional phases instead of weather patterns. There's winter in the morning, sharp and chilly, the kind that nips at your fingers and makes your breath visible like tiny ghosts escaping. By noon, spring arrives, soft, a little brighter, smelling faintly of grass and optimism. Then comes summer, slipping in quietly while you're distracted, warming your cheek, lighting up the hillsides, making you believe in miracles for a brief, glorious moment. And just when your body begins to unclench, autumn strolls in right on schedule, dropping the temperature and a few stubborn leaves exactly in time for your lunch break. People say, Ireland has all 4 seasons. And they're not wrong. What they forget to mention is that Ireland gives you all 4. In sequence. Repeatedly. Like a playlist stuck on a cosmic loop. Forever. One moment you're basking in warm sunlight. Feeling almost smug. Stretching your face toward the sky like, maybe today will finally behave. Maybe the weather gods are in a stable relationship today. Maybe the clouds signed a peace treaty. But then, rain leans in and whispers in your ear. Cool and sneaky. As if the sky has decided you were getting a little too comfortable. Not drowning rain, not storm rain. Just that sly Irish drizzle that shows up like it heard you making plans. The wind, of course, can't resist. It crashes the moment like a loud cousin at a family gathering. Dramatic, abrupt, throwing its weight around, rearranging the scenery. And your hairstyle. You can almost hear it saying, "You thought we were done? Oh no, sweetheart, we're just starting." And just when you're gearing up to complain, heart full of betrayal, ready to declare the day a lost cause, a rainbow casually drapes itself across the sky. No announcement, no effort, just effortless beauty, like the sky winking and saying, "Relax, I'm still charming." You knew this, and you do know, because Ireland's weather isn't cruel. It's just dramatic, theatrical, a bit of a diva with impeccable timing. You learn quickly, almost instinctively. An outfit isn't for an occasion here. It's for a forecast of chaos, a preemptive truce with the elements, a quiet acknowledgement that you're living on an island where the atmosphere has a personality disorder. And honestly, that's part of the charm. So you dress not for cold or heat, not for rain or shine, but for the wild, endlessly looping cycle of seasons that Ireland serves you every 10 minutes. With pride, mischief, and a little bit of magic. Chapter 3, Layering, the Irish ancient martial art. In Ireland, layers aren't fashion. They're not even style. They're strategy. A quiet, everyday battle plan against a sky that can't make up its mind. Clothing here is built like a medieval castle. Not pretty first, not trendy first, but defended, fortified, ready. Every layer is a wall, a shield, a silent soldier waiting to be deployed when the next weather twist comes charging in. First layer, optimism. A t-shirt, a light top, maybe something cotton and innocent. For that fleeting moment the sun decides to flirt with you. Gently, shyly, like it's testing out affection. This layer is hope stitched into fabric. Second layer, realism. A hoodie, a jumper, something soft but serious, the kind of warmth that says, "Look, I'm rooting for sunshine too, but let's not act brand new. We know where we live." This is the layer that respects the sky's emotional instability. It doesn't judge. It simply prepares. Third layer, survival. A coat, a jacket, something waterproof, windproof, maybe even life-proof if you're living near the coast. This is the layer that means business. The layer that stares directly into the storm and says, "Not today." It's the Irish equivalent of ancient armor, passed down in spirit from people who fought the weather long before you were born. And the final layer, always, always. The secret weapon, a backup layer in your bag, a spare jumper, a folded jacket, a sneaky cardigan that lives in your backpack like a guardian spirit. Irish people don't leave home without it. Some carry umbrellas, some don't. But everyone carries that one surprise layer. The break in case of sudden emotional sky collapse option. Irish people don't get dressed. They prepare. Like warriors warming up. Like monks polishing ancient techniques. Like chess players thinking 12 moves ahead of the clouds. And the dance begins. They take layers off. Put layers on. Unzip. Zip again. Roll sleeves up. Roll sleeves down. Remove the jumper. Put the jumper back. Carry the jacket. Wear the jacket. Regret wearing the jacket. Regret taking off the jacket. From a distance, it looks like indecision. Like chaos. Like someone arguing silently with their own clothing. But it's not chaos. It's choreography. Fluid. Instinctive. Precise. A kind of weather-based Tai Chi. A slow, graceful art form mastered over generations. Every Irish child learns it. Every adult perfects it. Every visitor eventually surrenders to it. This isn't just layering. This is an ancient martial art. The subtle, strategic, time-honored dance of staying dry, staying warm, staying sane, and staying one step ahead of a sky that changes moods faster than a poet with feelings. Chapter 4, The Wind with an Attitude. The Irish wind isn't a breeze. Let's start there. It's not that gentle, poetic puff of air that ruffles hair and whispers compliments. No, the Irish wind is a whole personality, a character with opinions, grudges, and a flair for unnecessary drama. It doesn't gently blow. It interrogates you. It comes at you sideways, frontways, from behind, from angles you didn't even know wind could navigate. It asks questions like, where do you think you're going? Why are you wearing that? Are you sure about that hairstyle? And most importantly, did you secure everything you love today? It flips umbrellas like it's testing your reflexes, like it's signed up to be your personal ninja trainer. One moment your umbrella is a shield. The next moment it's an inside-out satellite dish picking up disappointment from another dimension. It sneaks into your clothes like it's looking for secrets, sliding up sleeves, down collars, through pockets, as if trying to uncover emotional vulnerabilities you didn't even know you had. It wants access. It wants answers. It wants to know your business. And when it pushes you, and it will push you, it's never gentle. It shoves you with that passive-aggressive confidence like, "You sure you're meant to be walking here? Because I have other plans for you." On the coast, though, the wind gets a promotion. It gains a name, the Atlantic. And the Atlantic does not play. It crashes across Ireland with the energy of a massive, ancient creature who's been awake for thousands of years and has zero interest in subtlety. It doesn't ask for permission. It doesn't apologize. It arrives like, "All right, folks, let's rearrange the landscape." And the people, and maybe your soul. Tourists come with cute little umbrellas, bright colors, dainty patterns, the kind you buy thinking, "Oh, this will be perfect for a light drizzle." Ireland takes one look and says, "I'll bless," with the kind of tenderness one uses for a child who confidently lies about not touching the stove. And then, without hesitation, turns that umbrella into modern art, a twisted metal sculpture created in the medium of wind and regret. That's why Irish dressing includes very specific, very practical rules. Shoes that don't fly off, because the wind will absolutely try. Coats that don't flap away, because a dramatic exit is only cute when it's intentional. And a readiness to hold on to your belongings. Like the wind owes you money, and is absolutely bold enough to pretend it doesn't. In Ireland, the wind isn't weather. It's a rival, a mentor, a comedian, a bully, a friend with bad boundaries, a presence that insists you stay alert, stay grounded, stay layered. And above all, stay humble. Because the Irish wind doesn't blow. It arrives. And you just adapt. Chapter 5. The summer that forgets it's summer. Irish summer is not hot. Let's just remove that expectation from the conversation. Irish summer is hopeful. It's the season that really tries its best. The friend who shows up late, underprepared, but with snacks and good intentions. Some days, it succeeds. It enters the room confidently, skies clear, temperatures warm, sunshine dropping onto your skin like a soft blessing. People laugh louder. Clothes get lighter. Dogs suddenly walk like they own the pavement. Even the wind relaxes a little, like, "All right, I'll behave for now." But other days, summer gets shy. It hides behind the clouds, second-guesses itself, starts acting like a season going through an identity crisis. You'll wake up expecting brightness and warmth, only to find a cold so quiet and sneaky. You genuinely check the calendar, wondering if you hallucinated the sunshine from the day before. Irish summer is full of these tiny, emotional plot twists. That's why you'll see someone in shorts, walking confidently, soaking in every molecule of warmth they can get, right next to someone in a full wool coat, hood up, shoulders tense, ready for the next unexpected chill. And the best part? Both people are correct. Both are valid. Both are living their truth. Because in Ireland, dressing for summer requires more intuition than logic. You learn quickly that the weather is not a contract. It's a suggestion. And summer, sweet summer, is a season that frequently forgets its own job. Because in Ireland, the cold isn't an enemy. It isn't a threat or a punishment. It's a roommate. Always there, wandering around quietly, opening windows you just closed, sitting on the couch uninvited, showing up beside you in the morning like, "Hey, hope you weren't expecting privacy." The cold never truly leaves during summer. It just steps into the hallway for a moment, stretches, checks its phone, re-enters casually, and settles back into the corner of the living room, like it pays half the rent. So Irish summer isn't about heat. It's about trying, about small victories, about soft light and shy warmth, about people chasing patches of sun like migrating birds, about appreciating every gentle, golden moment because the next one isn't guaranteed. Irish summer is brief, sweet, confused, charming, and deeply, beautifully human in its effort. And that's why the Irish treasure it, even when it forgets what season it's supposed to be. Chapter 6. Beautiful chaos, quiet preparation. Under all this unpredictable weather, something magical, almost invisible, happens. It happens slowly, softly, woven into the habits of everyday life. The Irish learn to live with the sky, not against it, not in battle, not in frustration, but in a kind of calm, practical partnership. They walk with acceptance, An easy rhythm that says, if the sky wants to act up, that's its business. I've got things to do. They adjust without complaint. They make peace with the drizzle, nod respectfully at the wind, and treat the changing light like an old friend who loves dramatic entrances. They laugh when rain surprises them. And it does, frequently, usually at the worst possible moment. A sudden downpour soaking their hair, a rogue splash catching their shoes, a sideways sheet of water greeting them like, "Hey, missed me?" Most people in the world would curse. The Irish, they laugh. They shake their heads. They keep moving. They shrug when the wind decides to redecorate their face. Moving hair, hoods, hats, and occasionally dignity. The wind pushes. They wobble. They keep going anyway. It's not resistance. It's coexistence. Because there's beauty in being prepared. A quiet confidence that comes from knowing the day might throw sunshine, storms, cold snaps, warm spells. All of it, any of it. And still stepping outside with a sort of steady, gentle bravery. There's beauty in packing a jacket not because you're paranoid, but because you understand the land. Beauty in layering clothes not as fear, but as a respectful nod to the island's moods. Beauty in facing chaos with calmness, knowing that unpredictability is part of the charm. Dressing for 4 seasons isn't paranoia here. It isn't overthinking. It isn't dramatic. It's peace. It's rhythm. It's harmony with a sky that refuses to be predictable. And that's the secret. An Irish person never says, "I wasn't ready." Not once. Not ever. Because they always are. Not out of fear, but out of quiet wisdom. Generations of lived experience. And understanding that life and weather rarely follows the script. So they stay ready. Prepared. Open. Flexible. A little amused. A little resigned. And somehow, beautifully, endlessly resilient. In the beautiful chaos of Irish weather, preparation isn't a burden. It's a way of living softly in a world that changes without warning, and still choosing to step outside with ease. So when you look at Ireland and wonder why the people dress like the clouds have secrets, it's because they do. This is a land where the sky is alive, where weather has moods, and where stepping outside is a conversation with nature. Here, you don't dress for the moment. You dress for the story the day will tell. And in Ireland, the story is always changing, always surprising, always worth dressing for.